Kevin Hunter, 373 Marlin Circle. And I didn't come here necessarily to make a lot of statements. I just came to listen, to learn a little bit. And, you know, when I think about being a part of Barefoot Bay Recreation District for the past 10 years, what excites me is the fact that we have so many different recreational things. And I am all about recreation. I mean, if there's an amenity here I don't use, you know, someone's going to have to point it out to me, because I think I've used just about all of them, and I enjoy them immensely. I enjoy tennis, you know. I enjoy pickleball. I've coached. I brought in, our Sebastian High School has a pickleball team, and I asked the pickleball club if we could maybe get 12 pickleball club members to play 12 of the high school kids. And I went and I got some money and paid for their passes to come, got it all approved, and we had a ball last fall, you know, doing it, and I anticipate we'll do it again. You know, I don't want to see, I'm kind of in Elaine's position there. I don't want to see us lose anything. I want to see us gain things. And when you have the opportunity for grant money, you know, I've applied for grants. It's like, that's a no-brainer. If you can add, Florida has this recreational state grant to push public recreation, and we're going to say no to that, you know, in any referendum that is put out there. I guess one question I have, since this is maybe a dialogue time instead of just a statement time, is how is that referendum written? Was it the way, Mr. Amos, that you read it to me just a while ago, prior to all the audience participation? Is that the way it's written?
I didn't read the referendum off. I don't have a copy of it. Anybody over there have a copy?
I guess I'm a little concerned that the referendum's going to be written in a way that if I'm not really engaged in the process and understand that basically we're turning away an opportunity to explore how to bring new recreational facilities such as two new pickleball courts.
Right. It authorizes the board to spend up to $65,000. That's all it does for
and
pickleball.
It doesn't lock us in to the two new courts being in like the proposed.
They have to be in that area.
They'd have to be in that area.
They have to be in that area for one of the first reasons. They were going to be right next to it, but there's a drainage pipe there, and a grant won't pay for us to move that drainage pipe. So it would cost us tens of thousands of dollars to move that.
Yeah.
Also, I questioned it. Why can't we put a pickleball court elsewhere, like in the community? Well, the grant covers only one area at a time. So if we're working with the pickleball as the primary, then we went and looked and thought, what else can we do? That's why we got to the trail and thought, well, we can do the trail, because that's still within the recreational community right there, the community center right there. Then the concept of the playground came in and thought, okay, we can do some of our ADA playground equipment. It's still within that center. And we will have to do some landscaping with all of it. So all of that is part of the grant money as well. So one of the things that I didn't know is that we couldn't just split it up. We couldn't do pickleball here and do something with the trail. It has to be combined in an area on any, well, I think on any grant, doesn't it? Kent?
So for the FERDAP grant, it needed to be in one area. Usually it's on one parcel.
Yep.
Softball field is actually on two parcels, but it's one facility on the two parcels.
Another question, does the voting down of the referendum affect our ability to be awarded grants such as the one, you know, we're thinking about applying for?
No, well, the way you said it, no, it doesn't. The only thing is that grant, I mean, that referendum only affects those two pickleball courts. That's it. It does. That's all the referendum is for, is spending money on the pickleball courts.
It's just for spending over $50,000. If
So
we were
how-
doing that in any other spot in the Bay, if you're gonna spend over $50,000 to build a new pool, if you're gonna spend $200,000, we would have to come for a referendum because it's over $50,000. We can spend up to 50 for anything that we're gonna do without a referendum. That's our limit
Right.
in our charter.
I'm aware
So
of that,
that's,
yes.
that's what,
But I also, I read, some
Ken's
things.
gonna bring up the referendum and put it up here.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because it states in there what it's for, and it states that it's for pickleball courts. States that it can be $165,000 and no more.
The referendum.
But it doesn't say the location, does it?
I
says
think it says
adjacent.
adjacent, yes. Which means in this case, if you look it up in Webster's dictionary, Merriam-Webster's dictionary, there's two or three different items. Some of it means right next to each other, which I would call adjoining. Adjacent also means nearby. Okay, that's all for the referendum. You just forget about the grant right now. We're just talking about the referendum, right?
Okay.
So the grant really doesn't have, the grant kind of depends, no, it even doesn't depend on it. The grant has nothing to do with the referendum. Referendum allows the board to expend up to $165,000, over $50,000 to $165, in order to build 2 pickleball courts adjacent to the existing pickleball courts, which means in the same area.
So what do I do as I'm a Florida resident, I'm a registered voter. What do I do if I, really feel like we could benefit greatly? And I'm not going to say we don't need even more tennis courts, but we would benefit greatly from more pickleball courts. And I want this referendum, but I have some hesitation about the location that has been selected. I mean, what would you advise me to do?
No,
I can advise you on that one because we don't have an option. We really don't have an option. The first choice was right there where you guys want it. Okay, that was the first choice. We can't do it there. So we're trying to give you the next best thing without taking away from anybody else, building the court as close to you as possible. That is the thinking. That's just the thinking. Trying to give the pickleball what they want and tennis what they want.
Right.
One of the suggestions during the budget meeting, I suggested we put the 2 new pickleball courts over by the water department because there's already parking there. And I also suggested that maybe we put them in front of the convenience store. But go back to the FERDAP grant. It has to be in the same location. So even though we looked at other places in the Bay, we wouldn't have been able to fund it using the FERDAP grant. And I'm not sure it would have been good stewards of the Bay's money to spend $150,000 of our regular dollars on a pickleball court somewhere else.
Plus I will say, Linda, I don't know if Linda's here.
She couldn't make it.
All right. Originally, when they came to us, they don't want it any other place. They wanted it as close to this pickleball court where it's at now.
Right.
To put it someplace else, they felt was not really wise for anybody that plays pickleball. They want to be in a group. They want to be able to rotate. They were really very much against us moving it anywhere else.
Was there any discussion about possibly having it a little closer and just doing away with the wall?
We have people that use
Use
the
that wall.
handball
Okay.
court.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
so
I mean, I just saw, I think you, the other day, I see people using the
but
wall
a-
every
a
morning,
wall's
yeah.
kind of a minor expense and can be, to me, it could be put, walls can be like that. I don't know, maybe not.
Well,
But
I'm kind of like Elaine. I learned from Randy Loveland when he was on the board, don't take away amenities from folks.
Yeah.
And there are people that use the handball wall.
yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Shishon's going to read the referendum to you.
You know what, while you're doing that, it's interesting to me that you come up and when I say you, I don't mean that way, but you come up to the podium and you're speaking to us,
Is not
and I'm
something that's not
hoping,
working.
in reality, that you speaking is going out to the community so they understand what's going on. I think we've got a handle on it, but we want the community to be listening to this video, and for you, as good stewards, to be able to go out and explain exactly what this vote is about, the $50,000. This shouldn't be an adverse reaction between tennis and pickleball. It should just not be. We're trying to give everybody what they've asked for.
We're having a technical issue now with the referendum. No, I'll be asking to come up in a moment, so we try to get this fixed, okay?
So I'll go ahead and
bear
read
with us,
this so
yeah.
we can move
You
on.
can read it.
The referendum states, when you look at your ballot, shall the Barefoot Bay Recreation District Board of Trustees be authorized to expend not more than $165,000 to construct 2 new pickleball courts adjacent to the existing tennis and pickleball courts located at 625 Barefoot Boulevard within the district. And that's it. That's how it reads. So when you look at your ballot, that's exactly how it reads.
I wanted to say one more thing. Somebody told me that it was going around Facebook that people don't know what this ballot is. Jeff, I understand, explained it perfectly about 10 times. So could you also say it again here so maybe they can get it properly?
The ballot came about because our charter, as amended 3 years ago, raised the maximum expenditure from $25,000 to $50,000. As Elaine said earlier tonight, it was done basically because of the NRP program, and we couldn't buy homes at that price. The other time, so that changed about 3 years ago along with the term limits. So what happened tonight, or what's happening for the ballot, is that because the tennis court location is considered a new project, which is west of the handball courts, our law firm said that in order for us to be legal with our charter, we had to send it out to referendum. The referendum only says the board has permission if we choose to, that's a big part of it, if we choose to, go forward with building 2 more pickleball courts just west of the handball court. A vote yes on the referendum puts the decision back to the board. A vote no on the referendum kills it until we have another referendum. Is that it?
Yeah, well, what I was getting at is the type of ballot. People were confused because
Oh,
we
yeah, I'll
also
do
had
that.
a DOR ballot this year.
Okay, and then the second part of that was, and I did want to hit that tonight, this ballot only goes to Florida registered voters that are residents of Barefoot Bay. Now let me say that again. Florida registered voters that are residents of Barefoot Bay. The reason for that is it falls under the charter, and the charter is granted to us by the legislature and the governor. So that is why only Florida residents vote on this. This is not similar to a DOR revision that we did earlier this summer, whereby the lot owners voted on it. Again, this is a charter issue. Charter comes from the legislature and the governor. That is why it's restricted to Florida registered voters living in Barefoot Bay.
Right, now, some people complain they didn't get one in the mail. They didn't get one in the mail because they didn't register with the supervisor of elections and request a mail-in ballot. This is a regular voting ballot, just like every year. If you don't request a mail-in ballot, then you have to go on election day, November 4th, to Building A, show them your ID or whatever we do, and you can vote right there. That's the way that works. And then we should know later that night if it passed or it didn't. Normally, that's one way I started this talk, Jeff and somebody else should have been on that ballot for you to vote on for a trustee position. But nobody else signed up except Jeff. So by the supervisor of elections, Jeff was automatically assigned that position. So his name won't be on the ballot, but the referendum still is on the ballot because it was requested to be on the ballot. And that will be the only thing on the ballot.